Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Today we will present a discussion about the implementation of ISO 15489 at Indonesia Archive Solution Company. Before that, we will introduce ourselves. The first it's me, Dessy Ratna Jupita Sari, absent 8, and then Laksmita Triadewi Mounty, absent 14. The first discussion is definition of ISO 15489. ISO are the International Organization for Standardization. Series 15489 defines record management as the area of management that is responsible for the efficient and systematic control, receipt, creation, use, maintenance, and disposition of documents, including process for storing evidence of information about business activities and transactions in the form of documents. Series 15489 also defines documents as information created, received, and maintained as evidence and information by an organization or person to a legal obligation or in a business transaction. ISO considers management records as planning, controlling, directing, organizing, conducting training, promoting, and other managerial activities that involve the life cycle of information, including creation, maintenance, and destruction.
ISO 15489 in Indonesia. The concept of records and archives is a combination of dynamic archives, records, and static archives. There are several things that must be understood in the management of records based on the ISO 15489 standard. There are access, accountability, action tracking, archival authority, classification system, conversion, destruction, disposition, documents noun, indexing, metadata, migration, preservation, records management, record system, registration, tracking, and transfer.
The next discussion is regulation relating to ISO 15489. The existence of Law Number 43 of 2009 on archive access arrangements dynamic is more strictly regulated in carrying out archive service, and archive management is carried out in accordance with. The first is legal certainty. The second is authenticity and trustworthiness. The third is wholeness. The fourth is origin or principle of provenance. The fifth is the original rule or principle of original order. The sixth is safety and security. The seventh is professionalism. The eighth is responsiveness. The ninth is anticipatory. The 10th is participatory. The 11th is accountability. The 12th is benefit. The 13th is accessibility. And then the 14th is public interest.
An Indonesian Archive Solutions Company. Records manager is someone who is responsible for records or documents management in an organization, which in Section 4 of ISO 15489 states that records or documents management includes activities 1. Setting policies and standards. 2. Define responsibility and authority. 3. Establish and disseminate procedures and guidelines. 4. Providing various services related to the management and use of documents. 5. Design, implement, and manage special systems for managing documents and integrating documents management into business systems and processes.
In Indonesia, Archive Solution Company only provides service for dynamic archive management, which are divided into two, namely active and inactive archives. Active archives that have a high frequency of use or continuous frequency of use. Inactive archives has decreased. Indonesia Archive Solution Company implements ISO 15489 and also standard from ANRI, or National Archives of the Republic of Indonesia. The application procedure in Indonesia Archive Solution Company Active Archive includes the first stage, inception, which aims to ensure that its file to be filed is authentic, intact, and complete. The second stage, the index or file title, is determined by means of the word gates. The third stage, determination of the classification code for filing, is carried out in accordance with the function, activities, and transactions carried out by the work unit in accordance with the classification code. The fourth stage, cross-pointing, is used if the archive has information related to other files with different media. The fifth stage, labeling, is done by writing the identification of the file using label paper placed on the folder tape. The fifth stage, the arrangements of archive, arranged in a filing cabinet whose arrangement in accordance with chronology.
Inactive archive, selection and identification. This is done by grouping archives based on the principle of origin and sorting based on archives and non-archives. Identification includes the collection of data information through observation functions of the archive's authoring agency, such as the time period and the author's unit. Maneuvers and files. Maneuvering is the activity of combining files that have the same problem. Filing is the activity of compiling a group of archives with a predetermined archival arrangement scheme. Input data. Inputting data is an activity to record the contents of the information contained in the archive. Activities in the finishing process. Boxing. Put the files that have been organized into the box. Box setup. Self-maintenance and put boxes on file racks. Labeling. Label the box for easy archive search. Transfer archive. File before scan. File inspection is carried out to ensure that each file to be submitted is intact and complete. Then do the filing according to the activity. Scan. Scanning archives use a resolution of 300 dpi and can be saved in the form of electronic documents in certain formats. Data input and hyperlinks. Entering data is an activity to record and contents of the information in the archive. Quality control. Quality control is carried out to see the suitability of the digitization results with physical archives. There are two activities in the finishing process, namely labeling and setup. Same as like inactive archives, the files have been put in organized into the box and labeling the box for easy archive search.
The application of ISO 15489 at Indonesia Archive Solution Company is useful for the first is improve company image. The second is improve the company's environmental performance. The third is increase the efficiency of activities. The fourth is improve organizational management by implementing planning, implementation, measurement, and corrective action. The fifth is increase improvement in the determination of laws and regulation in terms of environmental management. The sixth is reduce business risk. The seventh is increase competitiveness. The eighth is improve internal communication and good relation with various interest parties. The ninth is gaining the trust of consumer or partner or investor.
Okay, and the conclusion. The scope of the quality management system of archives is an important aspect that must be considered in improving the quality of the administration of records. It is expected that with this, satisfaction in managing archives will be achieved, namely the realization of archives that meet the principles of accountability and transparency. In terms of the availability of archives that meet the character, authentic, reliable, and intact can be used. The core business processes in archiving, which include creation, use and maintenance, and depreciation, needs to be supported by the availability of resources, storage areas, archiving facilities, and people. And that's enough for us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.